Hello and welcome everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Joshua Becker, and I want to both inspire you and help you own less and live more. To accomplish that, over the next few videos, I want to take a deep dive into an important skill: overcoming consumerism. This is such an important topic that rather than quickly flying through some points, I've decided to divide this teaching into a 4-part series. I'll be releasing one video every week over the next month. Now, to get the most out of the series, I recommend watching one video, taking a few days to intentionally apply the steps, and then returning for the next video. Of course, if you're watching these videos, as they get released once per week, you'll only have that option. But if you're finding this series for the first time after the entire series was released, as many of you will, or if you're coming back to rewatch these, as many of you will, you'll have the option to watch them all right in a row. But I did design them to be watched slowly and deliberately, applying each of the ideas as they are presented before moving to the next. But the choice, of course, is up to you. So with that being said, it is my pleasure to introduce you to an incredibly influential series: 7 life-changing strategies to change your spending habits. For the next 4 weeks, I'm moving beyond surface-level decluttering to a different type of hard work, embracing the philosophy of wanting less. This series is about breaking free from the endless cycle of consumerism that affects so many aspects of our lives. It's not just about owning less, but legitimately about wanting less. Because this is where the greatest benefits of minimalism are discovered. Oh, sure, it's amazing to declutter your home, get rid of everything you don't need, and find more focus and intention in life. But if after minimizing your possessions, you just fill your home back up with stuff, then the benefits are short-lived. The greatest potential of owning less is not found in just decluttering, but in wanting less, both today and in the future. Unfortunately, though, this process of changing our spending habits and overcoming consumerism is a different process than minimizing a room or a space or even an entire home. Overcoming consumerism is about changing how we interact with the world around us. It's a little bit like the difference between going on a diet to lose 20 pounds and entirely changing your eating habits for the rest of your life. Those pursuits require a different mindset. They're both good ideas, but changing your eating habits for the long run has the greatest benefit to your life. So that's what I want to talk about in this 4-part series: 7 life-changing strategies to change your spending habits. Each video in this series will explore 2 vital strategies that all of us can embrace and employ right away. And I want to take time to explain each of them, give practical steps that all of us can take right now, and then give the steps room to breathe in our lives, both for us to reflect on them and provide opportunity to apply the practical steps before moving to the next one. In this week's video, I'm going to explain the first strategy that we need to overcome consumerism and change our spending habits. Next week, I'll dive into strategies number 2 and number 3, and then so on. All right, are you ready? If so, let's change all of our lives for the better. The first key to changing your spending habits and overcoming consumerism in your life is what I call recognize and articulate the benefits of owning less. The more we recognize how our life improves by owning fewer things, the easier it is to overcome consumerism going forward. And I don't want you to miss either part of this step, both recognizing and articulating the benefits. Dawson Trotman once said this: "Thoughts disentangle themselves when they pass through the lips or the fingertips. Speaking aloud the benefits you are experiencing by owning less will help you understand them even more. So we will both recognize and articulate the benefits of owning less. My own journey into minimalism started unexpectedly one Saturday morning when my neighbor introduced me to the idea. I was immediately sold on the idea of owning less, and by Monday, I had started a blog called Becoming Minimalist where I could journal our journey into owning less and what we were learning. One of the recurring features on the blog in the early days was what I called benefits of minimalism. Every time I noticed a new benefit, I shared it on the website. For example, one of the first areas we decluttered was our living room, which had shelves filled with decorations. These included old books that were more for show than reading, decorative items that only matched our furniture, and several figurines that held little or none personal value. After decluttering, we kept only the items on those shelves with actual meaning. And the result was striking. The shelves held about half of the items, but everything we kept held twice as much value. After decluttering the shelves, I decided to dust them, which, as you can probably imagine, took only half the time that it used to do that work. The experience was a revelation to me. Owning fewer things makes cleaning easier. And as someone who doesn't particularly love cleaning, this was great. It became a benefit of minimalism. Owning less means less cleaning I have to do. I also started noticing other benefits. Owning less was less stressful. It saved time. It saved money. Every time I noticed a new benefit, I wrote about it on the blog. About a year and a half into my minimalism journey, I was interviewed for my very first newspaper article by the Albany Times-Union in New York. The reporter asked a number of questions over email, and I spent quite a few hours, even days, trying to get every answer just right. That was until I got to the final question. The final question the reporter asked was this: do you think minimalism is just a phase that you're going through? Or do you think it's something you'll keep doing for the rest of your life? And it was, by far, the easiest question of the entire interview. It took me just seconds to answer. No, I am never going back to my old lifestyle. I had just spent hours answering all these questions about why we decided to become minimalist and listing all the positive impact it had had on our lives. When I got to the final question, after listing all the amazing benefits we had experienced owning less, it was a no-brainer to answer. Why would I ever go back to living the way I used to? That is why the first strategy to changing our spending habits and overcoming consumerism is to recognize and articulate the benefits of owning less. As you minimize your possessions, notice how it affects you. Notice how easy it becomes to clean, to get ready in the morning, to tidy up in the evening. Notice the money you're saving, how it changes your view of the world and your potential in it. And every time you notice something, say it out loud to a child, a spouse, or even say it to yourself. The more you do, the less inclined you will be to accumulate more in the future. Let me give you 3 application steps to put into practice this week. Do these and it will begin to change your shopping habits. Number 1, observe and reflect. Walk around your home this week. Identify areas where reducing clutter has had a positive impact. Bring a notepad with you and write them down as you notice. Number 2, share your journey with one person this week. Talk about the changes you're making in your home. You can mention it the next time you see your parents. You can mention it to other parents at your kid's play date. The next time you're talking to a friend at church or you're out for dinner. Just start with, you know what I've been doing at home? Sharing your story will give you new opportunities to explain the benefits and your why behind your decision to own less. And then number 3, create a benefits of owning less list. So don't throw away that list that you started in step number 1. Keep it close. And whenever you see something new that is beneficial about owning less, add it to your list. You'll be surprised how long your list will grow. Okay, there you have it. Strategy number 1 to changing your spending habits. This is, of course, just the beginning. Take some time and intentionally apply this step. And then join me for the next video where we'll dive into strategy number 2 and number 3. Of course, you can always just remember to join me here on the channel if you want, or better yet, subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated on this series as it is released. Together, we're not just learning to live with less, we're learning to want less, opening ourselves to a richer, more fulfilling life. So I'll see you again real soon.